Hello! So a lot of you have been asking for me to make a vlog. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have so many questions in my Ask Box. I tried to go through it. I have over 1,500 in my box right now, which is like kind of crazy. So I tried to go through and pick out some that I just liked, some of them that I haven't asked before, or haven't been asked before, or that I haven't answered before. So yeah. First question. Hey, you want to come sit with me? Come here. Come here. Come here. First question. I was recently diagnosed with herpes simplex 2. I've gone through your herpes tag and watched some of your videos. I would agree that the stigma is far worse than the condition, and I've really accepted the fact that I have it and my life is not over, but I'm highly concerned about having discussions with future partners about it. I'm hoping you would have some advice on how to approach the conversation. I have followed your blog for a long time and always respected your opinions. Thank you. So there are going to be people who don't want to sleep with you because you have herpes. And that is 100% okay. That is their choice to make. You know, you can't really, it sucks, but you know, if you put it into perspective, it's also pretty understandable. I've had herpes for over 3 years now, and you know, previous to me having herpes, would I have slept with somebody who had herpes? Probably not. So nobody wants to have herpes, and the risk of contracting it isn't really worth, you know, like a one-night stand or whatever. So for me, I mean, I entered into my relationship with Gino like right when he and I were in the process of like courting or whatever, when I found out that I had it. But I don't think, you know, and I'm not necessarily saying that you're doing this, but I don't think promiscuity is the best choice when you have herpes. I think, you know, committed relationships are obviously ideal. And, you know, people are just really freaked out by, they hear the word herpes and they're kind of like, worst thing ever, huge, disgusting, pussy blisters all over my body if I get this. And you know, that's not the case at all. So a lot of the time, if you present it more as a matter-of-fact thing rather than like this huge like, oh my god thing, but like, hey, I have herpes, just so you know. Do you know what herpes is? Do you know what happens when you have herpes? Do you know, like, blah 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 blah? Just essentially, if you explain it to them and you really break it down, it's not that big of a deal. They're just kind of like, oh, okay. But even still, HSV2 can be pretty aggressive, and viral shedding is very common. So you want to be careful. I don't know if you're taking suppressants or not. Suppressants work really well for some people. They don't for others. For some people, they just make it worse. So yeah, just figure out what works well for you and just be communicative. I know it's an uncomfortable conversation. It feels weird, but the more comfortable that you are with it, the more comfortable other people are going to be with it. And even more uncomfortable than the actual conversation is you need to prepare yourself for like a future possibility of potentially passing it on to somebody and how you're going to handle that. So this is just something Something to think about. But if and when there comes a point where, you know, somebody doesn't want to date you or whatever because you have herpes, like, don't beat yourself up about it. And don't vilify them for it either. It's something that's understandable. And it doesn't mean that there's anything necessarily wrong with you or whatever. It's just it kind of comes along with the territory. Next question. I know you're a huge fan of coconut oil, and I've been looking at around your blog, and I haven't seen anything on oil pulling. Have you tried this process? If so, what are your thoughts on it? I've not tried it. And I've not tried it because I think it's bullshit. Next question. What is your live journal? Do you let anyone read it? My live journal is Jamie Vulva at livejournal.com. And no, I don't let anybody read it. It is locked. I have to add you as a friend in order for you to be able to read it. And TBH, I probably am not going to add any Tumblr people. The people I have on my friends list now, I think it's like 100-something people I've had on there for like 8 years. And there's a lot of really personal, private stuff on there that I'm not trying to have anybody all up in my shit. Next question. For those cookies, did you use actual blood? If so, that's cannibalism and unhealthy. Menstrual blood is dead blood filled with chunks of utero. Go to the doctor. This person is an idiot. Next question. Hey Jamie, I noticed in the past that you sometimes reblog crime scenes and autopsy photos, which made me wonder if there is any true crime case you find yourself particularly fascinated by. I am really fascinated by death overall. I think there's a lot of beauty in death, and I know that's a very strange thing to say. But I think it's true. I mean, it's a very natural thing, and you know, we've got our emotions too caught up in it. If you take a step back, and you really look at it, even crime scenes that are incredibly gruesome and bloody, and there was a lot of anger involved. There's just as a human act, it's kind of it's fascinating. It's fascinating. Like, we can watch, you know, bears maul other animals, or lions maul something, or like other animals killing other animals, and it's just, you know, a part of life. But humans do it, and it's just this huge travesty, and everybody's so emotional about it. I try to view it from a different perspective. Like, granted, I can see that, and if something terrible like that, where if I knew somebody who was, you know, chopped to pieces, I'm sure I would feel emotional about it too. But there's also there's a level of, for me anyway, a level of romanticism that comes along with something like that. It's just a very animal thing, and I think it's beautiful. I don't really know how to articulate this any better. I'm very drawn to things like that. I wanted, actually, for a long time to be a funeral director, and do embalming and all that stuff. But I can't handle dead babies. So that is actually why I decided not to do that, because dead babies die. Yeah, I don't have any specific case though that really resonates with me. It's just kind of sprinkled all over the place. Next question. Will you see Alex again? Does that relationship have long legs? I have every intention of seeing Alex again. I'll probably see her sometime in the next few months. Probably when I go on vacation. I plan on having her in my life for a very, very long time. I love her very much. And she's definitely a very relevant and important person in my life. She's one of my best friends. And she's just she's a beautiful person. So the answer is yes and yes. Next question. Do you have any weight loss / fitness tips? Eat as much of you want. Eat as much as you want of whatever you want. And move if you want to. Move your body if you want to. Next question. Do nipple piercings ever stop smelling weird? I've had mine for 9 months and they still get a little crusty and smelly. I know you've had yours forever. So what are yours like lately? Mine are just chilling. I don't know. Normal. I've had mine for 10 years. And I don't get the crusties. I haven't gotten the crusties since maybe a year and a half after I got them. They stay crusty for a while. It's not anything harmful. It's just part of their healing. The smell never goes away. It's part of like every piercing. If I don't, like I said, I've had mine for 10 years, and if I don't wash them frequently, they definitely get that funky smell. But like I said, that comes along with any piercing. Like you get it in your ears too, your septum. Next question. Do you think you and Gino will ever get back together? I really loved you two as a couple. I don't know. But I really loved us as a couple too. But I don't know. Next question. Come on. I haven't used any soap for the past several weeks and my skin is thrilled about it, but no matter how much I rinse with water, I can't get my armpits to smell clean. They're always still kind of smelly and sweaty and sour. Do you have any suggestions? Well, you could just mix a little baking soda with that water and scrub at your armpits with that. Also, if you roll on some essential oils in your armpit, that might help too, but just be careful with what you use because some things are not good for sensitive skin. I'm trying to think of what else you could do. I would try the baking soda. Maybe baking soda and or vinegar. Vinegar would be good. Yeah, just a little bit of apple cider vinegar would be good too. Try the baking soda and water. If that doesn't work, just pat on a little bit of vinegar. And then when you get out of the shower and after you're dried off, you could just put a little bit of cornstarch in your armpits too to help keep things dry. Next question. What would you do if you... Oh my goodness. Oh. What would you do if you had a child born with ambiguous genitalia? Would your opinion change on the child if the child's gender was determined through their chromosomes, even though their appearance was ambiguous? Seems like something you would have some interesting input on. If I had a child with ambiguous genitalia, I don't know. It wouldn't really matter to me. I would just let them decide. I don't give a fuck what gender my kid is. Just recently I was checking in with Dimitri because, you know, he was raised like as a boy, but not through, I don't really know how to describe it. It was never anything that was like pushed on him from me. It was from his dad, but not so much like his dad was like a sport. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. From my perspective, I wouldn't care. I would let them decide. And I would just not treat them, but interact with them, you know, accordingly. Just babies are pretty androgynous in the first place. So I can't imagine that I would treat I'm really struggling to find the words here. A baby boy different than a baby girl. So why would I treat, you know, an androgynous child any differently? Their genitals don't really matter to me, and I also don't think their genitals really identify anything other than, you know, their sex, but that doesn't mean anything. So I would just treat them essentially the same as I would any other gendered child, I guess. And then I feel like they would, you know, let me know at some point. Or unless they just remained androgynous, then, you know, whatever. It wouldn't really be a thing. I honestly don't think I would put a whole lot of thought into it. For my own personal interactions with them. I mean, I would be very conscious and concerned about, you know, other people and the way that other people were to interact with them and engage them and treat them. But I would let them decide. I guess. That's what I'm saying. Next question. I know you're knowledgeable about enemas and anal stuff, and I've tried Googling, but I got nothing. I was doing an enema to clean myself out for anal with just water, no saline, but I ended up doing it like 10 times, and my water still wouldn't run clear. I gave up. Has this ever happened to you? Do you know what the deal could have been? Woo! Well, you shouldn't do it that many times. That is unnecessary. You can fuck up your electrolytes if you do it too much. And you don't want to fuck up your electrolytes because that's going to make you feel really bad. I wouldn't do more than 3 rinses. You can, your positioning, you might need to change your position. Maybe you did them sitting down. But if you do them, so say this is your head and this is your butt. You do them like face down, ass up. This is your butt, this is your face. So get your face on the floor, get your ass in the air, reach your arm around me here, and put it in your butt. You also want to hold it for as long as you can. It helps to massage your belly. I'm massaging my belly right now. Massage your belly, jiggle it, push it, work it all around. Jumping up and down, that's hard to do, but once you get practiced in it, you can do that. That'll work. Wiggling yourself around, rolling yourself from side to side, extending your torso, stretching, and really just hold it as long as you can. But if you're just trying to put water in there and then squirt it out, that might not be as effective. Oh my goodness. I've never had that problem, but I've also been doing it for a long time. So, yeah, those would be my suggestions to you. Yeah, don't do it so many times. These are all of the questions that I have to answer, or that I set aside in this video. It's already 20 minutes, so I'm gonna cut this off. Maybe I'll make another one soon. If you want, you can send me more questions. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. Bye.